All right. There we go. And back. So that was cool.
That was.
We just, it's the other podcast again. This is the after show.
The After the Medium show.
The After the Medium show. And as you just said, the Extra Medium show.
Which is an inside joke for those of you who are regular viewers of the podcast.
Yes. I don't know.
Many hundreds and thousands of you.
One concurrent viewer.
Yeah.
Who I think is actually us.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was cool. We just had Daniel Jackson on, and Dan Jackson, and he is a medium, has a book, A New Beginning. Check that out on Amazon. Mm-hmm. It's $8, and you'll have to watch the other stream to get the full thing of it. But what do you think?
So I tend to be somebody who's a little more skeptical of those kind of things in general, but I also think that one of my big things is trying to come from a place of, listening to others and kind of accepting others, sort of what he's talking about. And so I was really trying to come in with an open mind. And as I said to him at the end, I think that whether I'm a believer or not a believer isn't really necessarily important. I think a lot of the message that he had was a positive message. And so that was kind of my big takeaway from it. It was a lot of what he talked about was treating each other in a positive way and having positive energy and attitude about things and that sort of thing. So I thought, it was kind of interesting. What was your takeaway?
Yeah, I mean, I think the message certainly was great. I'm kind of in that same boat as to however you deliver it, however it's packaged, as long as you're not like sacrificing people and like actually harming people in your message, I think that message is good. I've always been kind of one who leans on to being a believer in those kinds of things in general. I can't say that I've had experiences as he described it all, but I certainly feel in tune with that kind of thing. My aunt, who helped raise me through most of my life, my younger life, has been a big part of my life. She was big into tarot cards and crystals and stuff, and so we talk about things, and we've talked about that being in my family, that kind of sixth sense type. I haven't really it's nothing like too concrete or anything. Nothing that I've ever like grasped onto. I've done tarot cards and stuff and learned how to do readings and then forgotten how to do readings and then tried to learn again. But I do find that those types of things exist in some way, shape, or form. And it's kind of weird to me because I have that rational side of me that's like, okay, well, you're just kind of thinking about it. It's kind of like when you read a horoscope and it's like, those things apply to anybody. Like they can apply to anybody. But it's the same thing with interpreting tarot cards and all of that stuff. I've got that side of me that's like, well, I mean, I can interpret it however I want to interpret it, and any good storyteller can spin a story to make somebody believe one way or the other. So which is a weird way of, however, I was just trying to explain. I do believe, but then there's the other side of me that says, possibly not. Yeah.
Well, I think a lot of people are in that same boat. It's like, there's part of me that believes, but there's part of me that doesn't, and I want the proof of it. And I think we're all like that in a lot of ways. So yeah.
I don't disbelieve, and I don't need proof, I guess. Like, I don't care one way or the other. Like, it's one of those things that there's no reason for me to have a vested interest in it because I live my life how I want to live my life. And I don't think that whether that exists or not is going to affect how I live my life. I live by that message that he was preaching. Anyway.
Exactly. I agree.
I'm a big fan of the whole human stuff.
Well, and to be honest, some of that's part of why we're doing the podcast is the connection between humans and just being able to talk about life and shared experiences and that sort of thing. So that definitely I connected that to kind of what we're doing here.
It was kind of crazy. He was talking about earlier on, and so do you notice when I say about or things like that? Lately, I've been kind of turning it into this Canadian about type thing.
Okay.
It's been slipping in.
I'm waiting for the connection to.
That has nothing to do with
Nothing
this.
to do
It's
with
just,
it.
I just said about, and I was
It
like,
made you think.
it made me think of it. So I need to figure out what's happening to my
You've been
brain.
watching a lot of South Park and
I
Blame Canada.
don't know what's going on, but yeah, this past week has been a whole like imposter syndrome like lesson for me.
Yeah.
Like it's come up in literally every day of something coming around where we talk about imposter syndrome and that idea, because he had mentioned it at some point. He didn't mention it by the term imposter syndrome, but that whole self-doubt and finding, moving past that doubt and needing to do that. And it's just interesting that he brought it up today. I was like, Jesus, still followed me here. So
well, I mean, we even talked about that last episode of the podcast. I talked about my own experiences with that, and and I think what comes down to too is like that's a common feeling that you think it's an internal thing that you experience, but really so many people, so many of us experience that. But yeah, it's interesting. It's come up over and over and over again for you.
I think, and that goes to where you talk about the everybody feels it thing, when he was talking about, finding your people, and when you feel like you're not in a space, when you feel like you're the only one feeling something or whatever. I mean, that's a perfect example of like reaching out and learning from other people so you can make those connections and understand a little bit better. Again, the purpose of this podcast here
exactly
to make those connections.
Yeah.
So you missed. I know you said you had a lot you want to talk about.
Oh no, I mean I have things I can share, but go ahead with your.
Last night's conversation with Jackie Neiman Jones was.
So who is Jackie Neiman Jones? Remind me.
Jackie Neiman Jones is she was in, so the movie.
Oh, she's that one. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Manos, the Hand of Fate.
that would have been an interesting one. I'll have to go back and watch that.
Yeah, it was great. We didn't even. I mean, we did talk about that. For a good amount, but she was just really cool to talk to in general. Like she's just she's out in Oregon and has starting up a art co-op with some people, and it's this old J.C. Penney that's like from the 30s, and it's all like wood and stuff. Cool. And so they're like setting up an art co-op and doing so she was talking about a whole bunch of stuff.
So she's an artist.
Yeah. She's always been an artist. Her dad was an artist.
Yeah.
But so Manos, the Hand of Fate, she's talking about all this stuff that like spawned out of it, because apparently Mystery Science Theater 3000 found it. The reason they picked up all the movies that Mystery Science Theater 3000 did were movies that weren't trademarked. So in the
right, so they could take them and use
And so I found out about that, and she's telling me about all these other things that she's made a sequel to it, and there's like, I think it's on YouTube someplace. I haven't looked it up yet, but it's like a puppet show. It's Manos, the Hands of Felt, or something like that. And there's she's part of a new. She was a web series, or maybe it was being on Tubi. I gotta check it out again. But it's the Chronicles of Manos. But so another like.
Another spin-off.
There's several musicals, I guess, or stage productions.
That's cool.
There's a rock opera about it. So she's like, all these people have been doing all these things, and I was like, I kind of want to do like a Manos in space now. I feel like that would be awesome. So that is what we.
Okay, so we need to do some kind of Manos spin-off ourselves.
Yes.
Okay.
It's open domain, so we're good.
Yep. That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
so that's what you've been up to.
Yeah, just dreaming about Manos in space.
Going down a whole Manos rabbit hole. You have gotten. It's too bad the rock opera is already taken, because you've gotten into the music. You could have done an awesome
We could do a Manos just CD, like a whole album.
Ooh, a concept album.
Yeah,
we can talk about concept albums.
That is where Extra Medium will make its debut.
Oh, that'd be pretty cool.
There's a Manos. The Band of Fate. So there's a band already, but that's fine. we don't need to worry about that. We've got Extra Mediums, a great band
Mhm.
name. So
Can we do something? Maybe we need to. Well, I guess the whole trademark thing would be the issue. But I was going to say we could do something with Monster Squad and go off. But yeah, then we'd run into trademark issues. So they probably wouldn't like that too much.
yeah, well, maybe they'll be on board. What are they doing with it?
You could do like a Monster Squad based band where we could all dress up as like different monsters and we could play music inspired by
the Monster Squad.
Yeah, or make our own like musical of the Monster Squad. That'd be pretty awesome. You'd again have to get permission, I think, but a Monster Squad musical would be pretty cool.
Yeah, we just throw it out there.
Right.
And if we get sued,
we could probably take that project that we've talked about before, where in 6th grade, where we had to make take songs. We could do that. So like we could use Wholehearted when in that scene where you get staked in the heart. We could use some of those songs that we came up with.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
Let's start piecing that together. I still got to put that episode, the Monster Squad review, on here.
Yeah.
But I got to because you can't just throw, you could just throw something up with like a black screen or whatever, but I'd rather have something with it, so it's just not just audio playing.
Yeah.
So if you can think of some great picture ideas or a video to go behind it.
How about I was going to say we could just play the Monster Squad with no sound throughout the whole thing. But again, we'd run into copyright issues.
We'll figure it out.
We can't afford any lawsuits or anything. So
No.
Do you know any lawyers that would defend us?
Pro bono? We got some lawyers in beta. But I couldn't even get like a trademark conversation going on with them. So
that's right. Yeah. What else you been up to?
That I've been working the movement mentality thing. Been plugging away at that.
That's cool.
Trying to get the online business portion, learning how to do that.
Yeah.
I've got a coach going on with that. So
cool.
It's been interesting. And then I may be teaching family karate.
Okay. You're going to go back to teaching karate again?
Yeah. I was talking to Andy at Centerpoint the other day about something else. And he's like, would you want to teach family karate again down in, or not again, I've never done that, but would you want to teach family karate?
We've taught martial arts.
Yeah. So I was like, yeah. And it wouldn't be like going with the curriculum, which is what I prefer. And he's like, no, it'd just be like a basic martial arts. He's like, yeah, all on board. So
cool.
Hopefully that pans out. Then I'm going to England.
Going to England? I didn't know that.
I didn't tell you that?
No, you don't tell me anything.
Yeah, I'm going to
England. Never talk to me.
I'm going to England next Tuesday.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So we won't be able to record next Thursday.
Okay. So no recording next week. So you're going to visit Caitlin.
Yeah.
Okay. Very cool.
Yeah.
How long are you going to be there for?
Till next Wednesday.
So like a week?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's awesome. You have any plans while you're there?
Yeah, we're going to go. There are plans to do a couple things, but we're going to be seeing Caitlin in Leeds.
Yep.
Or Bradford, where she lives. So we're going to be visiting her for like the first 3 days or however long it is until Sunday. And then Sunday we're going to London, and then we're going to visit there for the final few days. And Caitlin's going to come with us there. So originally she wasn't going to come with us to London, but I guess she changed her mind and decided to come with us to London. So that'll be fun.
We've been talking actually lately about wanting to go to England and do some sightseeing. We've gotten kind of into like English Premier League stuff. So we'd love to go over and like see a match somewhere. Like I don't even care what team. Yeah. It'd just be cool, I think, to experience that atmosphere and stuff. But I love history and stuff. So like, obviously London, England dates back even further. So I think that'd be really cool to, check some of that stuff out too. So
I would be scared for like the soccer hooligans and all that stuff.
Well, but it's not like you're going to go, you don't have to go rep like a certain team and like you just go and.
Yeah, I don't know how that works. So I'm just saying I'd be scared.
Well, if you can handle going to Philadelphia for a football game, you can probably handle going to.
Okay.
Well, again, you're not going to go into Leeds wearing like their rival jersey and hey, look at me. You're just going to go and keep your head down and do, enjoy the game. I think you'd be fine.
I suppose. I don't know. I get those irrational feelings. I don't even really want to go to like a pub or anything over there. I'm just like, I don't know what the people are like there. Which is kind of crazy.
As Daniel said, they're people. They're just like you.
I know this.
It'll be fine.
But they might know that.
You'll be fine. You'll be fine. You'll have Candy with you. Candy, she'll take care of
you.
Okay. I would mess with Candy.
No, yeah, she's a formidable force.
Yeah.
I know she's like the mama bear when it comes to
exactly.
going out to the bars and stuff.
Yeah.
Protecting all the ladies.
Yeah, you guys will have fun. That sounds really cool.
Yeah, should be fun.
Yeah.
How about you? What have you been up to?
So last weekend was an eventful weekend. We on Saturday, I went up to Orono, which is the first time I've been there in 20 years. That was kind of interesting. We saw the UMaine football game. They got their asses kicked, which was fine. I kind of assumed that would go, but it was kind of neat to go up there. So I went up with my dad, and it was great spending a lot of time with him. And my uncle went with us.
Uncle Danny?
Not Uncle Danny. But that was really cool. But what I didn't expect, so they came to pick me up in the morning, or my dad did. My uncle lives in Augusta, so we were meeting him up there. But he picks me up, and he's got my mom in the car with him. And so, that's strange. I didn't know my mom. So she was going up to hang out with my aunt. Well, we went up all day. So Augusta's what, like it's an hour, sort of like about that long. So for pretty much 45 minutes of that first hour, we were talking about colonoscopies because my mom recently had a colonoscopy. So I got to hear every detail of my mom's colonoscopy. She had like the results, and she was like literally reading out. So like, here are the results of what they found on my colonoscopy. And then it was, here are the medications they put me on. And she like talked to us from like the preparation through the like taking the medication, and like, I don't remember anything from here to here. And so it was, and then that turned into like talking about me getting a colonoscopy because we have a history of, so I was trapped in a car for 45 minutes talk to my parents about colonoscopies and my dad's resectioning of his bowels. And
wow.
Yeah, so it was a very...
So the other day, it's funny you say that because somebody I was talking to, like, we're in a break room type situation, and it was just meant to be a quick whatever, and he started talking about that
colonoscopies,
and like his procedure that he just had, and it was more than I expected him to go on about. It's like, what's happening?
I think it's one of those things that's sort of like a shared experience that everybody at some point goes through, and then once you've got, like, I remember somebody at work talking about how, telling us I had to have a colon. I spent the whole night on the bathroom floor and like all this stuff about getting ready for it. So I think it's one of those things that's sort of like everybody goes through it. Once you've gone through it, you just, it's that shared experience.
I suppose it's a good way to prep somebody who hasn't gone through it. So, because, it's one of those things. I talk about it all the time where, like, there's all
colonoscopies?
But no, not colonoscopies. The fact that there's a lot of things that you get to be an adult, like, nobody tells you about.
Yeah.
I really shouldn't complain about it when people are telling me about and preparing me for it. So I haven't had to have one yet. So.
I had one back when I was like 22.
I remember you.
Yeah. So I have to have. So my dad's gastroenterologist has said that I need to start having them. So I actually have one scheduled coming up, but still not necessarily something I want to be in a car talking to my parents about for 45 minutes. So, and then it was funny too. So that Sunday was, my mom's birthday was actually Saturday. We went out on Sunday for a birthday, and we're at Tuscan table, and at dinner she starts talking about, so I had my colonoscopy, and starts going through, and I'm like, we're in a public like restaurant, come on, you need to stop. So that was Saturday. But it was nice to spend time with my dad and my uncle going to the game. And then Sunday I ran my my race, so that went well.
Number one.
I tell my kids, they're like, "Did you win?" My kids at school, and I'm like, "Yeah, I got 850th place out of 1,500 runners or something like that." But that I was trying to explain to them, like, unless you're a really good runner. It's not really about winning the race at that, because they're thinking like cross country, like there's a cross country team at school and they're all about I wanted to win, or I was top 10 or whatever, and I'm like, No.
Yeah.
When you get to this level, it's just, did you finish the race? It's more about racing against yourself, right? And I wasn't even racing against myself. It was essentially, can I finish? But that went well. It was freezing cold.
Really?
So I showed up there. I was like 50 when I woke up, and I'm like, oh, that's not that bad. Like, I'll be fine. And so I'm wearing my shorts and my top that's like sleeveless top or whatever. It didn't have the nipple cutouts, but
okay.
But I showed up and everybody else is in like long sleeves with like running jackets and gloves, and I was like, oh, I didn't realize how windy it was going to be.
Yeah.
I have never, like, that was aside from like the sleep outs we used to do up in college, like that was the coldest I've been for the first like 5 miles of that race. I was just like absolutely freezing, but went well, finished.
That was the one you said it was like on Back Bay and stuff, right?
Yeah. So along the Back Bay was like the absolute worst part of it. It was just like wind. And you run down like Veranda Street in Portland out towards Falmouth. So you're going across like the bridge there, and so it's just like wind. But so that went well.
Yeah, so what'd you get for a time?
I basically did 10-minute miles. So it was like 2 hours and 10 minutes or 12 minutes. I think it was officially 2 hours and 12 minutes.
And was that the first time you'd run that?
12 years ago, I ran it.
Okay.
And when I turned 30, I was like, I'm going to get in better shape than I was when I was 20. And so I ran it. And André did the marathon that year. And so, yeah, it's been well, but I finished it. I think it was fine for.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's a hell of a lot more than I would do.
My knees, like all week, was like, what the hell did you do that for? But no, it's good. And so, yeah, that's it. What else have I been doing? I have been working on the playlist for the Songs to Get You Out of the Mood playlist. We narrowed that down a little bit today. And what else did I do? Oh, I did have something I wanted to ask you about. Okay. So we are going to a dinner party tomorrow night. Not tomorrow, Saturday night, with some friends of our daughter, like their parents. And then they invited another friends of our daughter and parents too. And they're going to be kids there. So that kind of throws it off a little bit. We're a little nervous about this. So, because hanging out with new people, I think is really sort of a challenge. And so we're a little bit scarred because a number of years ago, back when we were, and this is even before we owned our house, we were living in an apartment on Taylor Street. And there's this couple that was living in the apartment above us. And they were like really cool. They were like the same age we were. They were like, it seemed like we were a great match. And they ended up moving out of our apartment to an apartment down the street. And they invited us over as like this dinner party. And we never socially hung out with them other than kind of maybe had a drink once or twice, like when we were sharing the apartment building. And so we went to their house and we had dinner. Everything's going great. And they wanted to play a game. They wanted to play Cranium. I don't know if you've ever played that game. So part of that is charades, right? And the card that I got, and it was his wife and I were up, the wife from the other couple. The card we had was missionary. Now, how would you, if you were going to do charades for missionary, how would you do charades for missionary?
In that situation?
So it's a couple that you've that's what I'm saying. So like
so wait, you have to, so she's got to guess you?
No, I had to get, it was couples playing against each other. So I was trying to get Andrew to guess. He was trying to, but I mean, you could look at either person, but I'm trying to get Andrew to guess. She's trying to get her husband to guess.
So, I mean, if I'm with people that I know, and like, probably if I'm with you and Candy and Andrea, I would probably go straight for the Thanksgiving song. Yeah. Just go down on the floor and go that route.
Right. So we weren't with people that we had socially spent time with. So I'm going with everything I can, I'm crossing myself. I'm showing like, trying to somehow show like a group of like, come on, let's, and the game, it had gone on for like 5 minutes of like me just sitting there like, oh, I'm doing this over and over again. Like, right. And there was no time. And so I'm expecting them to like, oh, we didn't get it, but they just kept doing that. So eventually I was like, all right, enough with this. And so I went down on the floor and did exactly what you're talking about. And it did seem a little awkward. Andrea got it right away, by the way. She knew exactly what it was. And we continued playing the game, and that ended. And then they never, ever invited us to hang out with them again. So I guess what I'm getting at, I guess we're trying to figure out, like, were we wrong? Like, was I in the wrong for going to that place in the game? But it's also two parts, because it's like, was that inappropriate and wrong? And number two is, would we want to be friends with people that would think that was inappropriate and wrong? So maybe it wasn't really a loss on our part. I don't know. So
yeah, I mean, I guess if you're just trying to make new friends, and if you aren't quite at that level of intimacy with your friends, not that you're having sex with your friends, but you know what I mean? Like you can share those kinds of jokes. If you can't play Cards Against Humanity with these people, you don't want to jump into that kind of charade. Yeah. And I think Cards Against Humanity is an interesting game to play with new people, because I think anytime I played that, it's always been with people I've never known before.
Yeah, and you never know what they're...
Yeah, and it's always weird because I'm the one black guy at the table, and there are those cards that come out there, and like, let's see how people are going to play these cards.
I will be honest, we have played Cards Against Humanity a number of times with people. We've also played it with Barbie dolls and stuffed animals.
I love that.
Yeah. So that Andrew and I can play. No, but anyway, I have been known to go through prior to when I know there's going to be a game of Cards Against Humanity, editing the deck to take out some cards that I just know are going to be super awkward. Like, you know, in that situation, if I know there's going to be one black person there, not that's never been but I might have gone through and taken out one, or like, I know that I've had couples that are coming over that are going to be the only gay couple there, and been like, I'm going to take out those. You know what I mean? So like,
that's a good host, I think.
Yeah, but there's part of me that feels like I shouldn't do that, because like it's kind of not in the spirit of the game. Number one, and number two, like I don't know, like it's about having a sense of humor and being able to know. But yeah, I don't want to make anybody feel uncomfortable.
Well, here's the thing, like if I'm playing with you and we're like playing with a bunch of our friends and stuff, that's one thing. Like you don't need to take that stuff out because we know each other and stuff.
Right.
It's really weird though, like when you're in a group of total strangers and it's like, all right, so they play that card or they start like trying to play that card or whatever, and then just like gauging reactions and stuff, because as a black person in a group of white strangers, I'm typically trying to figure out, all right, is there a hidden racist here? And I'm playing that game half the time. And so that game, like, those cards don't help that at all. Like, leans me one way or the other.
I think you should make a game called Hidden Racist. And then, that sounds really fun to play.
How does that even play out? Like, I guess that would be like kind of a card game or something. Everybody gets an envelope.
Yeah.
Oh, what flag are you going to wave today?
It sounds like a Saturday Night Live sketch or something. Hidden Racist.
Hidden Racist.
Being like, but I'm not racist.
It's not me. But
so anyway, that's what we've been trying. We've been going back and forth all week of like, so how do we play it? Like, not that situation is going to come up again, and there are going to be children present, so I probably would shy away from the pelvic thrusting thing. But like, yeah, how much do you let your like
freak
guard down? Yeah, exactly. Like, you know. So
I think I don't think there's really, as long as you're not PG-13. Like,
what complicates this one too is it's like in that other situation it was fine because it was sort of like, okay, this is our sense of humor. You're not cool with it, and maybe that had nothing to do with it. There's certainly the element of it's not like we were close friends to begin with, so you know there are people you lose. Like we were good friends and we certainly lost touch. So we were acquaintances with these people. It may have just been a thing where we've always assumed it was because I was pelvic thrusting.
Right.
So like. But with these people that we're going to have dinner with, they're our friends' our daughter's friends' parents. So it's not like we're never going to see them again, or you know, like they're going to want their kid to come over to our house, or will they not anymore after? So like we've got to be, I think, a little more conservative than we might normally be.
That's always a weird thing with me. Like I think about this, like when I go to not so much now, but like when my kids would I be interacting with their friends' parents and stuff, and like maybe be at a bar or like at a party or something, drinking and stuff. And it's like, okay, I need to like not be crazy because I have to like make it. I have to make it like seem comfortable for their kids to come over to my house, like to like have those interactions, not just like I'm just drunk sitting at home.
In my head now, we're cutting to like 2 hours later, and Andre's streaking down the road like, "Ooh!" Yeah.
Did you read that? No, it's but yeah, it's kind of weird. Like, are you guys gonna be drinking there? It's gonna be alcohol.
I would imagine, yeah.
Okay.
It's a dinner party. Andrew's bringing a couple bottles of wine to share amongst people. So yeah, I mean, I don't think again they're gonna be children present. I don't think we're doing shots or.
I mean, is it like walking distance to the house?
No. I'll be driving.
Oh yeah. So.
Andrew is never the designated.
So really, you just need to worry about Andrea.
I always have to worry about Andrea.
I'm wondering if so you haven't gotten in touch with the old neighbors. Do you still have their number or anything?
No, they are long gone. I don't even remember their names, to be honest with you, but it would be interesting to go back and be like, I want to know what happened.
Well, I think it would be great if you just like sent them a picture of you topless, like just to, text right over, hey, what's going on? And, see how they respond.
Or just be like, it was missionary. What else was I supposed to do? Come on, you're telling me the designers of that game didn't expect that was what was going to happen. Yeah. So anyway, that's been a big topic of conversation in the Conley household this week.
So that's this weekend, huh?
That's this weekend. It's coming up. There's a lot of pressure on Saturday night to pull it off, and we want to be cool, but not like
not crazy, sexy cool. Right. Just cool.
Unless other people want to get crazy, and then we got to match that level of crazy. And unless they're too crazy, and then we might blow them off.
See, that's weird too, because you can't just go in there. Sometimes it's hard to go in and try to gauge it, and you don't know who's supposed to initiate the level of or whatever that vibe is. Yeah,
we're all sort of feeling each other out, and then
I mean, really, it's on the host. It's the host that's supposed to be setting that tone.
Yes. Yeah. So, you don't want to be the guest and go there. That's not good.
That's weird.
Right.
I'm trying to think of all the people that I know who are like that, and don't do it. Cool.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we had a good hour with the medium, which we didn't ask about Prince, and it was in the back of my head.
I did think that might be a little bit like I didn't want the guy to think we were like making fun of him.
That's not a good first date question.
Yeah. So maybe if we ever have him on again, or maybe he'll do a reading sometime if we had him on. He does say he does them over Zoom. Yeah. I wonder if he would be open to doing one for us.
I was trying to figure out how I would even like come into that because like as he's talking and stuff, I'm just thinking, can I? Have you ever done readings for celebrities? Try to like, ease my way into it, but no, I got scared.
Maybe he'll have you on. I'd say you because you've been the guest on other people's stuff. Maybe he'll have you on in his show and you can do a reading there.
Yeah, I don't know what I would go on.
Would you be open to having him do a reading for you?
Oh yeah, absolutely. But he said he has like tarot people and people that are in that
other people that are in the industry.
I mean, I did say that I have tarot cards someplace. I don't know where they're at anymore, but I think they're in the garage actually.
Well, enjoy your trip to England.
Thank you.
I'm jealous. That sounds awesome. I didn't realize you were going. So very cool.
Enjoy your dinner party. I'm jealous.
Yes, I will. Maybe next time we do get together, I can give an update on how wild it got.
For sure.
Hopefully not uncomfortably wild. But all right.
Uncomfortably Wild. That sounds like an awesome. Oh yeah. Ooh,
that sounds like could be like a good band name too.
Yeah. So anyway, thanks. This has been the other podcast, $1,000,000fist.com. Check it out.
I still got nothing.
Yeah, well, and Movement Mentality. Check that out. It's all over the place. Yep. It's easy. Google it.
And we'll come back in a couple weeks and find out about Andre's trip to England
and the dinner party.
And our dinner party.
Bye.
See ya.
And it's a 2